No. Put it back. No, just a second. Just a second. We'll use that one. Hang on. Okay. Does everybody hear me? Okay, good.
The general voice.
What is this? Does everybody recognize? Shut the light off there, Tim, real quick.
Looks like the sunbeam.
That's the term.
Does everybody remember the evacuation drills we did a number of years ago when we smoked everybody out? What'd you think of that, huh?
Amazing.
Pretty good stuff. And then, of course, how many folks were here when we just did go through all the hatches here a couple years ago? Okay? It was pretty eye-opening, wasn't it? To actually physically go through every hatch, some easy, some hard. So probably next time we bring you all together, we're probably going to do that again, because it really does invigorate take a look at some of between the two airplanes and the hatches and how they work and so forth. And so I'm going to cover here today. I'm going to go through the emergency exits of the airplanes. But I'm not going to do it. We're going to call on individuals. I'm going to have individual FLM stand up and tell us how they work. So how about that? So this is going to be a little bit like Price is Right. We're going to call names. We're going to have an individual stand up, and I'm going to put a question on the board, and you're going to have to answer that question. And again, this isn't kindergarten. So when we put the question up, I don't need everybody saying the answer. Just let the individual that we have sequestered here to stand up, answer, then we'll have a discussion. Fair enough?
It's a good way to get these certified.
So Howard, go ahead and go to my brief. I'm going to keep this one on. Can you still see okay with that one? No. Well, make it big, Howard.
Make it big, Alex. Come on, baby.
Okay, everybody see that okay?
Yeah.
All right. B-17, normal emergency exit. Hang on, I'll tell you when. Don't be too excited here. Okay, course objectives. There you go. You can read that, right? Pretty straightforward. No questions there. Next slide there, Howard. I'm just going to do it this way, Howard. There we go. Everybody can read that. Mike alluded to this. Airplanes are not designed to have fly revenue passengers, were they? Absolutely not. These are combat airplanes. Those folks back there weighed 140 pounds dripping wet, crawling in these airplanes and going out on missions. Again, FLMs. Mindset. Get on an airplane, you're briefing your crew. Are you comfortable of being able to get yourself and also your passengers off an airplane in an extreme situation? The door you came in does not work if we have a situation where we can't open it. What are you going to do? How are you going to get people from the front of the airplane to the back of the airplane? Of course, the B-25 different. They're separated. Now, where's Mike? Mike Lockhart, B-25 lead crew chief. Mike, have you ever skinnied over the drop tank of the B-25? No. Can you? Okay. I mean, there's some of us probably could, skinny up over that. But again, we'll talk about B-25 here in a minute. Did that jump ahead on me? Is it doing the same thing? Okay. All right. Howard, it's not even going back. There we go. Okay. In the last 5 years, we've made a lot of changes here at Air Base Arizona. And a lot of it had to be driven by experiences that were witnessed both across the warbirds community and also the CAF. Blue Bonnet Bell, C-47, crash on takeoff, everybody got out. But there were a lot of burns. Flight suits, open-toed shoes. We kind of learned from that. But that's probably not what we want to do. We instituted an FLM policy, which kind of clarified. I mean, we had a policy, but it was not really directive, as you all saw earlier today, how that's presented. We established a SOP or a unit manual, which we never had. We established a specific tour policy and also a flight suit policy. So all of those policies have just been instituted in the last 3 or 4 years as we've gone through. And of course, the great presentation by Mitch yesterday about the emergency response plan. We didn't have one. Okay? About 4 years ago, we wrote one. And we've been executing. We've been learning as we go. And I think the presentation Mitch gave you yesterday was a great presentation as far as as far as what happens on the road. It's a little easier here. It's not so easy on the road. Bottom line is, are you mentally and physically ready to fly before you get on an airplane? Okay. Okay. Any questions there? Front hatch, back hatch, radio room, pilot side windows, navigator's dome. We're all square with that, correct? Okay. Who's the guilty party?
Laszlo Repay.
Laszlo, stand up, sir. Okay. You ready? Here's your question. This is aggravating. There you go. How far do you have to pull the rear crew hatch emergency jettison handle to remove the hatch? Is everybody thinking? Everybody's thinking. Okay, it's the hatch. You got the aft hatch, and you got the emergency release handle on the side of it. Okay, go a little louder. Okay, how far do you think you have to pull that release handle for it to unlock the door? All the way. What's probably the right answer? Is it 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches? It's about 6 to 8 inches. It's more than that. There you go. Thank you, sir. Okay, so aft hatch. Okay. Do we lock this door in flight? We do not lock this door in flight. And where is of course it's over here, right? That's where the latch is. Okay, where's the emergency release handle? It's right there, right? Okay.
Turn the light.
Yeah, turn the light down a little bit. I'm sorry. Try to do this. There we go. A little bit better. So of course there's the handle, there's the lock, and there, of course there's the lock right there, and there's the aft inside handle. Now, there we go. There's the emergency door release pull handle. Right, yeah, which is to the left-hand side of the door as you're looking at the door. You grab it, right? And what do? Pull it, Laszlo, how far? 6 to 8 inches. Okay. Here's the next, I need another body.
Okay.
Okay, another body. Okay, I'm going to get there. Hang in there with me. Hang in there with me.
We're on the gate.
A lot of gates. Oh! There you go. Question, Lana. When the rear crew hatch emergency jettison handle pulled, the latch blows off the aircraft. True or false? That's false. That's correct. What happens? Okay? Okay? Nothing. Basically, when you pull that handle, it just releases the 2 locking lugs on the top of the bottom of the door. If you just pull that handle, it's going to stay there. The door is going to stay there. Okay? The easiest way to do it is if you can crack the door. I mean, and why do you have to get rid of the door? Well, let's just say you're going down the runway, we blow a tire, the airplane departs the runway, it's still intact, it's sitting sideways, you scrunch the fuselage where it's a little twisted, so you can't get the door open, right? It's not kind of opening the way you want it, but it's clear. You can still use it as an emergency exit. Okay? If you can get that latch off the latch, pull the handle, push the door away, it'll just fall away. Okay, so you physically have to push the door away. If you think when you pull the handle it's going to blow away or fall off, it will not. Any questions on that? We're all square. Okay.
We had an experience on tour where a customer stumbled going up the steps, a guest, customer, whatever, stumbled going up the steps, and when he grabbed the doorway, he pulled that handle out.
He did.
And didn't say anything to anybody, or nobody knew until whoever had the job of removing the stairs and closing the door. As soon as they touched that door to close it, they were holding it in their hands. It's like, what the hell?
So were you the FLM?
I was not the elephant.
Well, good, I was gonna say you failed. Okay, I need another buddy.
Right.
Let's go.
We got Brandon Slater.
Brandon, okay. Everybody knows what this hatch is, right? Tail gun. How many folks have actually sat inside that hatch? Not too many. We've had some folks. Okay, we're going to talk about it. Is it a dedicated emergency hatch? It is not. But I think you should all, if you had to if things were really bad, a really bad day, and there was only one other hole in this airplane, would you crawl down alongside the tail wheel to maybe get out this hatch if you had to? I damn well sure I would. But again, it's under the right horizontal elevator. Okay. All right, you ready for your question, sir? Okay, here we go. How do you unlock the tail gunner hatch from the inside? That's a trick question for you, probably. Okay. Okay. Good guess. There used to be the same release handle was on the aft hatch. They removed it. It's no longer there. Okay. Is this door locked? Yeah, the crew chief locks this door in flight. So how do you unlock it? Thank you, sir. Okay. There's the door. There's the door. Looking at this door from sitting inside in the cabin. The door's open. There's no handle on that door. Okay. On the side of the door right here is the lock unlock. All you got to do is unlock it. The door swings open. Okay. So no handle on the door. If you crawl back there and you're looking at this door, unlock it. Door swings open. You get out. Okay? Everybody clear on that? Pretty straightforward. Okay. Now we're going to get to the tough ones. There you go. Radio room hatch. Everybody's favorite hatch here, huh? Okay. Oh, I need a question. Go away. Next body.
Rocky Rakusin.
Rocky. Okay, Rocky. Here you go. How many latches must be rotated to unlock the radio room emergency hatch?
4 safety wires, right handles rotated.
Oh, you're the man. You're the man. All right, there you go. 2 latches starboard, 2 latches port. Okay, up here, right? They got the red safety. That's not safety wire. What's it called? Tamper wire. There you go. Okay, reach up there, turn them 90 degrees. Okay. Okay, I need another body.
How about Martin Burley?
Stand up. Where's Martin? Stand up, Martin. Here we go. All right. So you've gone up in there and you've undone these 4, right? So that's done. Okay. Here's your question. Once the hatch is unlocked and the hatch can be pushed up and out of the aircraft, true or false? Okay. The false is the right answer. False is the right answer. But how many FLMs have actually removed this hatch? Okay, there's been a handful. How many folks have not moved? If you're an FLM, have not removed the hatch? Okay, you need to. Okay, here's the deal. You undo these 4. You grab this hatch. It just doesn't come into the or it doesn't go up. You have to kind of jerry-rig it. You kind of have to work it back and forth. There's a gun back there, and it kind of gets a little hung up. So it takes you about, honestly, 5 to 7 seconds to kind of get in there, wiggle it, work it back and forth until you can actually get it to where you can bring it into the cabin. My recommendation is if this was a no-kid emergency, once you get into the cabin, you turn it sideways and you pitch it out of the airplane. Because you don't want that big thing in the cabin if you're bringing people from the back to the front and from the front to the radio room, okay? So again, probably what we need to do the next time we go around here is have every crew chief remove this hatch, or I'm sorry, every loadmaster remove this hatch so you're comfortable how this thing works. Sir?
How much is that window length?
Not much. The whole hatch, 15, 10 pounds. It's not that heavy, quite frankly. I'd say 10 pounds. Yeah. It's big. It's fairly large, but it's not really heavy. It's awkward. That's the right answer to it. Okay, next body. Sir.
Might add that if the people were exiting,
I'm going to get there. Hang in there. Put your hand down. Put your hand down. Okay, next question. Next body.
Dale Williamson.
Stand up, Mr. Williamson. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. How do you evacuate through the radio room emergency hatch once the hatch is removed? So what are the steps that you actually have to get out of the radio room? Yeah, the hatch is gone.
have a safety rope on the left-hand side, saying, throw it over, step on the chair, step on the radio table, and work your way, pull yourself out that way.
Right answer. Hoorah! So, there's the yellow rope. It's by the it's on the starboard side. Okay, just kind of tucked in back behind. Okay, what are you going to do with it? As he mentioned, you're going to take it. You're going to chuck it out the side of the over the fuselage. Come on, baby. There we go. Get it out, and then what are you going to do? You're going to step on the seat. You're going to step on the back of the seat. There's the radio rack there, but my recommendation is you step right here at the edge of the seat because it's a solid seat. So left foot, right, and then what are we going to do? Swing your hiney up over top the, basically to turn 90 degrees, put your rear end up on top of the fuselage, and then you crawl down the side of the airplane. Okay? Everybody enjoyed this hatch when we did emergency drills, didn't they? We had people cut their arms, we had blood, we had some people that were, once they got up there, couldn't get them down. But again, so any questions on this hatch? Sir?
That's your third choice.
Well, put your hand down. We're talking about how these work. We're not talking about evacuation right now. All right.
That situation.
All right. So where are we at here? We're going here, and we're going to talk about the forward crew hatch operation. Okay? Is this hatch locked during flight? Okay? Yeah, the short answer is no, but I'll tell you what, there are probably some crew chiefs that may lock this. Okay? Yeah, so I mean, this is a, of course, FLMs.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, we go. The FLMs don't, you're coming late to this hatch, right? If we have to go through the Bombay to get up there, get your folks up there. So that hatch is probably going to already be open, obviously by either the crew chief or somebody to go down there, co-pilot, whatever, depending upon the circumstances. So the short answer is it may be locked or it may not be locked, but that's a really crew chief briefing item that how they're going to manage that. So I need another body.
Dean DeRosia.
Dean, stand up. Where you at? Shit, he's not here.
Okay.
Next, another body.
Your stand-in is John Craig.
John, stand up, buddy. All right, here you go. Does the forward crew hatch have an emergency release handle? Yes or no? It does not. Used to have the same handle you had on the back hatch. It was removed. Used to be on the, if you're standing there looking at the hatch, it was on the right-hand side. We used to have a sign on that said emergency release and had an arrow pointing to it. We got rid of that. Okay? So again, it does not. So the only way you unlock this hatch is what? Right here? Right? Right, yeah? And there's the handle. Pull the handle down. Hatch swings open. Everybody enjoyed swinging out of that hatch, didn't they, when we did the drills, right? Okay, it was a lot of fun. Okay, everybody's having a ladder there. Okay, I think everybody kind of got an eye opener of how that thing works. Somebody else.
Bill Pinnock.
Bill Pennick. Stand up, sir. Everybody good with the forward crew hatch? Go back. Go back. All right, we'll stay with this. There we go. Bill, there's your question. How do the pilots exit the cockpit if all other exits not available? They do. They do have the side windows. Now, if she's sitting on her belly, that might be not a bad way to get out. But if she's sitting on her main mounts, that's a long drop. And I talked to Travis, how many pilots think they can get squeezed through those windows? He goes, not many. And there was no ropes up there for them. So again, it is an option for the pilots. Slide those windows open and go out either butt first or head first, depending upon the circumstances. Okay, thank you. All right, so everybody good with the pilots? How the pilots get out? Next body.
Howard Schoenholz.
Howard, stand up, Howard. There you go. Are you ready? How many latches on the navigator's dome emergency exit? This is a tough one. There's 3. Correct answer. Hoorah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you have 2 red handles, okay, that are basically shear wired that you're going to snap, right? And of course that's Mr. Dick Senna. And you have another hatch that's got some tamper wire on it that you actually have to release, okay? Next body here.
Gene Atkins.
Mr. Atkins, where are you at, sir? There he is. Okay. Once latch released, the navigator's dome rotates up and out of the aircraft. True or false?
Yeah, good question. That goes out.
It does not. Okay. The hatch, when you release those, that dome actually rotates down and into the cockpit. Okay, down and into the cockpit. So it goes forward towards the nose. It is attached. Yes, it does not come apart. It does not come off. Correct. And this is not a great picture here. Okay, I'll stay with this. The hatch basically rotates forward. I apologize for the picture. That's not that great. And then, of course, what do? We do have a rope. We chuck the rope over the side, and what do? You skinny down the rope if you have to. Okay? Everybody good with that one? Any questions? All right. Let's see how we're doing here. I need another body.
How about Mike Martin?
Mr. Martin. Okay. Where are the 4 fire extinguishers located in the B-17? That's correct. So they got one up under the nav desk, right, in the nose, one behind the pilot, one in the radio room, and one by the back door, right? There's the back door. Okay, there's the radio room on the starboard side. There's the one behind the pilot seat, and there's the one that's tucked up under the nav desk in the nose. Okay. Did you bring your bag? Did you bring those? You dirtbag.
I have a video with you.
Next slide.
Those fighting words. John Bishop.
Mr. Bishop, where are you at? Okay, give me another. Oh, there he is. Hello, John. You ready? Where are the first aid kits located in the B-17? Okay, yeah, there's one up there straddling just behind the cockpit seats, right? And there's one where? In the FLM bag, right? This guy right here? Okay, now, Mitch was supposed to do something for me today. He didn't do it. Mitch, our safety officer, has gone through and cleaned up all this stuff. And he's going to have a new red satchel with all the appropriate gear in there for the back of the airplane, and it's going to be in the helmet bag. Correct, sir?
Yes, and that little green guy is going to go up. They're going to add it to the Navigator Bombardier compartment.
Okay, you already heard that. So he's basically gone through and cleaned up the first aid kits in both airplanes, so we're in good shape. And he's basically done a separate one for the helmet bag in the back for the FLMs. So Are we good with, is any questions on the B-17 exit? Sir?
On the first page, there's actually now going to be 3 for
No, 2. Still say 2. Yeah, still say 2. All right. We're cooking here.
Actually, Marty, there's, the one that's in the turret is gonna stay there,
Okay?
and there's also one mounted on the waist side bulkhead, starboard side of the radio. That's a mounted one.
Okay.
So those 3 are gonna be Band-Aid boxes. Gonna have a
They're
bunch of
Band-Aid
goodies.
box-
They're gonna
right.
have bandages and Band-Aids.
Okay.
And the big red one that's in the FLM bag's gonna be the master.
Master
Has
with,
all the goodies.
right. Put casts on and so forth. Yeah. Okay. All right. So any questions here? Run the scenario. So why would we want to use, what happens if the back hatches can't open it? If we run off a runway, for example, and that back hatch we can't get, what are we going to do with our 6 folks in the back? Well, you're going to probably, if the front of the airplane's okay and you're talking screaming back and forth to the front, because probably the power's off the airplane, they may say, hey, we're going to go out the front, we're going to go out the front hatch, where are you going to take your folks? Through the bomb bay, right? All the way up to the bomb bay and out. Again, there's going to be some discussion going on, and it's probably going to have to be verbal discussion on an evacuation, because now they're going to cut the power once things all stop. So you're not going to have communication forward and back. So people are going to be hollering, hey, what are we doing? What hatch are we going to use? The pilot's going to call for evacuation, evacuate. And then if you can't use yours, you're going to tell them, hey, the back hatch is closed, and they're going to say, okay, come forward, or radio room if you have to. As Mike said, it's probably the third option if you can't use the front or the back. Okay? Any questions on the B-17? All right. B-25. Howard, switch that for me real quick, sir. Give me your first body there for the B-25.
Make it big, Howard.
Now, some of you guys go both airplanes, right? So we won't double tip anybody if your name gets pulled here today.
Ted Lloyd.
Ted Lloyd. All right, Ted. There you go, sir. Okay, we're going to cover this. Let me just flip to the side real quick. Okay, we're going to review the normal emergency exits and the equipment, just as we did previously. Okay, what are the normal exits? Forward passenger hatch, rear passenger hatch. And we have 4 emergency exits, right? Rear compartment emergency hatch, tail gun overhead emergency hatch, cockpit overhead hatch, nose emergency hatch. Okay? Now let me see where my question is here so I don't screw this up. No, that's not fair. That doesn't work. We can talk later. Okay. So, here's your question. Do all 4 emergency exits have external release handles? Yes or no? This is a trick question. This is a trick question. I had to look at this. Give me one. What's the answer? Yes or no? Oh, that's your answer? The answer is yes. Yes. There you go. Now we'll go through this as we step through each exit. We're going to, but yes, in fact, the B-17 has 0 hatches that are externally emergency hatches that can be released externally. The B-25 has all 4 can be released by somebody else outside the airplane. Okay. All right, so aft passenger hatch, outside entry, go back. Give me a buddy.
Peter Whitfield.
Peter Whitfield. Where's Peter at? There you go, sir. All right, so you're in the, okay. When the red emergency door ladder release is pulled, so that when you're sitting in the FLM seat, in the back of the 25, and right here, to your left-hand side, there's a red release handle, right? And when that is pulled, what happens? Go ahead, let me hear you. The ladder door drops away. Absolutely correct. Okay? So, it's got a little clip on it, right? so it doesn't, we don't inadvertently do that. It's located next to the seat, red clip, release handle, we'll release and fall away. Now, here's a trick question. Give me somebody else.
Chris Hostler.
Does the floorboard depart aircraft when when release handle is pulled?
It does not.
It does not, correct. Okay, so when you're looking at this thing, the floorboard, right, once you close the door and get in there, it does say emergency exit, and actually Mike's going to get rid of, that's why I blanked that, it's just going to say exit. That door, when you pull that red handle, the door's going to fall away. That floorboard
Doesn't open.
does not open, it stays just like it, right? Is everybody good with that? Okay. Now, yes, sir.
Okay, on those, Dennis King, bottom doors, they are not open at this time because if you can't open the door normally, it's gonna damage it when you drop it on the ground. It doesn't need anything. We had long discussions on undamaged door beds.
Okay, so you're just telling me that you've disarmed that red handle.
Safety wire.
Okay, so we can have a discussion offline. I've had a lot of discussions about this handle, both in the front and back cockpit, and why they were primarily used to to bail out of the airplane. Right? You had to bail out of the airplane, open that thing, get those doorway, and get out. We don't bail out of these airplanes. Okay. Is there circumstances if we ever had to evacuate an airplane that we would want to get rid of those doors? Well, you say not really. There's 1,000 scenarios. Everybody can come up with scenarios. So we need to talk a little bit more with respect to operations, the airplane folks, as far as that. Now, that's one in a million to pull that red handle, right? And if there's any more guidance on that, we'll specifically get that out to folks. But it's there. It was used for a different reason during combat. But it is capability. I could build a scenario where the airplane's in such configuration, you lose a main mount, it's cattywampus, and there's a fire on one side of the airplane where you can't go out that way. I need to get out the way, something's jammed, and I want to get that doorway so I can get people out. You could come up with 1,000 different scenarios to make that work. But anyways, thanks, Mike. Sir? That's not what he just said. Mike, you said it was disarmed. Okay, so you're basically saying if we get through the safety wire, the door will go. Okay, all right, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so let me go here. Question in the back. Yes?
People came up on that door, put the door up. I moved away, the door open, and keep that. People came up to their back, stood on that door, door. I had to look at go off the door. And we come up, down the perfectly down the door. That's a problem. But keep the people away from that door.
Well, that's an FLM management issue, right? You get them up in the cockpit, you set them down. I mean, yes, if once that door is closed and you're moving people in the back of the B-25 eventually if you're going to open that hatch, you gotta get them off the door, right?
Gotta use your outdoor voice.
Yeah, you gotta use your outdoor voice. Okay. Okay. So let's see where we're going here. We talked about that one. Okay, let me make sure I'm squared away here.
No, we didn't do this one.
Okay.
Marty,
Yes, sir.
just circling back to the door release.
Yeah.
If I heard that correctly, can a layman break that on their own then? or
No.
wire cutters?
It would require pliers. It would require have a bunch of metal cutters to get that. So the short answer is it's not usable. Okay, disabled, but okay. All right. Let me go here. Next person.
Peter Rosen.
Yes, sir.
Cater Peter Rosen. You can read it. True or false?
No, it's false. That comes in.
That's correct. Okay. Everybody know what we're talking about here. That side hatch, right? The little round guy here. And again, there's the external release, right? Here's the internal release. You pull the handle up, and it comes into the fuselage, and there's the hole. And you all crawled through that here last year, right? A couple of years ago. Okay. Any questions on that side hatch? Now, when would this hatch probably usually be used? Gear up landing, probably, huh? Oh, shut up. Okay. So if she's sitting on her belly, you know, the bottom hatches are not usable, correct? So this is probably the most likely hatch that to get the folks out of the back you would use for an evacuation would be this side hatch. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm going to blame the, who briefed FLM? Who briefed the briefs? Brooks. Now, we'll check on that. I don't have an answer for you. Okay? I don't have an answer for you. The question was, in the new checklist, that this hatch does not show up as an emergency hatch. So I'm going to have to check and see. Yes, sir.
The other issue was all the emergency exits on B-25 are not green. Because the primary, the normal exits are red. So when you revise, you put that extra.
Okay. Thank you.
There's another topic related to that. I call it the feed
Let's-
spot. That exit. And so during the summer, on tour,
Go back, Howard.
it's hotter than blazes. And there are some people who are of the belief
Howard, go
that
back. Go back a slide. Go ahead.
they could remove that hatch in flight to get air circulation.
Okay, stop. Who said that?
I'm not gonna say who said it,
No.
but it was summarily.
Well, no. Okay, we don't do that. You know
Well,
what? Okay. Okay. All right. We good? Next one.
Vern Epping.
Vern. Okay, Vern, you ready? What is this? It's the tail gunner, emergency, overhead, plexiglass. Yeah, it is. Has there anybody ever seen it removed from the airplane before? Not too many folks there, huh? Okay. So, where's that sucker located? Right up here. The whole frame does not come off, just this little plexiglass here. And of course, what's this hole here? Well, that's the beautiful tunnel running all the way back from the back to the tail gun in the B-25. Okay. When you get back there, you skinny all the way back there. Okay, we got a handle that's on the back bulkhead, right? So if you're facing rearward, where's this going to be? Back over here, your left-hand side, right? Emergency release handle, and there's the handle. Okay, who's the next person?
Shirley Sippel.
Shirley. What happens when the tail gun overhead emergency hatch emergency release handle is pulled? Okay, but what happens prior to pushing it away? Okay, yes, but there's only one mechanical process in the middle of that. Okay, when you pull that handle, what actually happens? Okay, you pull 4 pins. There's 4 pins that hold this hatch on, and they're located up underneath the rail here. And if you see right here, here's the pin. It's going to have a cable to it, and when you pull that handle, it actually physically pulls that pin and releases the both sides, 2 forward and 2 aft. Releases though, then you did what Shirley said. You just basically take that little girl and just pitch it over the side. If you ever had to use this hatch, everybody good with that? Any questions? Okay, now here you go. See this little guy right here? That's how you release it from outside. Okay, everybody knew that, right? Okay. Okay, so if somebody, and again, who would run back there and do it? Maybe Crash Fire Rescue when you bring them out and show them how we do this airplane. Hey, if the airplane ever came back in and unfortunately had to land on its main mount or without its main mounts, and we had to evacuate, this is how you would basically open that hatch if you had to, from the outside. Any questions on that? Sir?
Did you yourself pull that? How much pressure did that take?
To pull that, I physically have not pulled that handle pressure-wise. Michael?
There's spring clips that hold all 4 of those pins that go through the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the spring clips are gonna hold it. It's fun if I put it back in the other half.
So basically, what do you say, 20, 30 pounds of pull? Mike? You know, so, and how far did the handle actually come out when you pull it to release?
Probably about 6-8 inches.
6, 8 inches, okay.
You're just gonna yank it and it's coming.
Well, no, of course, you know, so it's just not gonna be a 2-inch pull, it's gonna be, well, you pull till it stops, right? 6 to 8 inches come out and, thanks. Yes, sir.
Pull that handle, if you go and retract it, you let up on it, like your
No.
spring loaders is what you're saying, or as you pull it, then lock, pull.
As you pull it, the pins are pulled out. Mike, right? Yeah.
Pull out. Connect it to the red handle behind your desk, cable. Pull it, they're out.
Yeah. So there's no releasing that handle and it's going to go back in. Once you pull it, you're disconnected and it's going to be put back manually or, you know. Okay. All right. Forward passenger hatch. Give me a buddy.
Doug Spencer.
Doug Spencer. You ready, Doug? Does the forward passenger hatch have an emergency release handle? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Okay? Right answer. It's right there. It's the same discussion we just had with the aft hatch. Okay? Of course, there's the yellow handle with the as people are crawling in and out of the front cockpit of the B-25. This little red guy sitting right next to it. So this thing is safety wired. The same thing applies. If you pull that handle, the door's going to fall away, right? Okay, she's gone. Of course, we have a safety wire. We don't want that to happen. We've already had the discussion about the back, so no really difference there. Okay? Don't even go there. That's your problem anyways, as the guy in the front of the airplane.
Jamie McPherson.
Jamie McPherson, where you at, Jamie? Okay, you ready? Does the B-25 cockpit have an emergency hatch?
It does.
It does. That's correct. That's correct. So, right there between the pilots on the overhead, right up in here, is a red handle, okay? It pulls down, it unlocks it, and the hatch is basically opened. There's the hatch open, side view of it open, and there's somebody standing up out of the hatch right here. It's a fairly large hatch. And what are you going to do with that hatch? Well, of course, FLMs aren't going to be involved with this sucker, right? It's going to be the pilots basically having to do this. They're just going to take it and away she goes. When would they probably use this one? Maybe if the nose will collapse, right? And she's sitting like this. That might be the hatch that the pilots might want to use. So pretty straightforward. Okay. I need next person.
Dan Potter.
Potter. Can the B-25 nose emergency hatch be opened from outside the aircraft?
Yes.
Yes, you paid attention. Okay. There it is. Okay. So this little guy right there can be pushed, and of course inside there's a handle. And this is the one we used Lana Gates many years ago. We had pictures of her working this thing. Right, Lana? Okay. Need another body.
Dean DeRosia.
He's already done.
Oh, no, hang on hang on, so let me, here's the question then. So that forward hatch, what do you do with the nose emergency hatch after you release the handle? So you've just released it from inside. What are you going to do with the hatch? You're going to bring it in? You're going to pitch it out? Okay. It could go either way. It could go either way. So, and quite frankly, if this is an emergency situation, which way do you want it to go? Out. We don't want to put that big sucker in there, because if you're going to be bringing people up through the nose, okay? And again, FLMs really don't mess with this, obviously, but you're aware. Okay. Next one.
Mike Lockhart.
Mike Lockhart? No, we're not. Sit down, Lockhart. We're not doing that. Who? Somebody, everybody's thinking real hard now. Don't call me.
John Craig.
John's been called. Give me another one. John, don't call me.
Tom Van Kneist.
Yeah. Thomas. Where are the fire extinguishers located? In a B-25.
There's one forward behind the pilot and one in the back. So there's three.
Yeah, there's two. Okay. There's two, right? There's one on the aft side, on the starboard side, behind up there up forward, and there's one where? Where's this one? Bombay. Okay, it's attached, and so if you're looking, if you're in the back of the airplane in the B-25, she's sitting back here to your right-hand side, right? Yes, sir.
You told yesterday there's going to be another fire.
No.
Not in the airplane, in the trailer.
There's going to be a spare in the trailer. So if for some reason we need to swap them out, which we've never really had a problem with fire extinguishers, but Mitch has basically got spares for the airplanes if we ever had to use those. Okay, we're just about done here. One more person. Okay, everybody's thinking real hard about this right now.
Ted Linsett.
There we go.
Okay,
All right, Ted.
I think one is in the front of the starboard side, behind the co-pilot seat. And one in the rear, I think it's maybe by the quartermaster.
There you go. Loadmaster seat right there. There's our hatch releases, right? There's this guy right here. Okay, and what are you going to do with that one?
So these two built-ins are going to be made into Band-Aid boxes by emptying things out that you wouldn't need in flight, but leaving Band-Aids and bandages for bleeding control. And then one of the soft-sided red bags is going to be up in the net on top of the bomb bay, right above that bulkhead fire extinguisher in the waist area.
So we're going to go to 3. He's going to have the 2 we currently have, and he's going to make a nice satchel. It's basically about like this, red satchel. It's with a whole bunch of goodies in there. It's going to go on the above the Bombay. Okay.
On the Band-Aid box, are they going to be labeled some lesser format? No, I don't think it's necessary. You know, what's going to be removed are the cold packs. It's not going to have a splint. It's not going to have burn cream and burn dressings. It's really, if somebody bumps their head and you need to bandage them up while you're in the air, you got all the goodies to do it, and you can get to them because it's not clogged up, right? And then once you get on the ground, you got all the stuff you can think of.
Okay. We're all square, right? Everybody knows how the stuff works. Now, obviously, the new folks who